president of Dealer Synergy. With over 23 years and 3,700 rooftops in 5 countries, 26 covers of every major automotive sales magazine, 15-time NADA convention speaker, 16-time winner of the Dealer's Choice Award, generated over $1.6 billion of additional revenue for clients, creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman community, #1 Facebook group in the auto industry, #1 podcast in the automotive sales industry, best-selling author of Googleopoly, an essay, CSP, and member of the elite $1 Million Speakers Group, host of the Against All Odds broadcast radio show on WONK 104.7 FM and iHeartRadio. Featured in Jubilee's viral YouTube show, Odd One Out. Star of Vice TV's hit show, I Was a Teenage Felon, Sean V. Bradley.
Thank you, guys. Listen, I really appreciate everybody coming. I haven't spoken at Digital Dealer in a couple years, but my daughter has, and she's got a session tomorrow, so shout out to Tiana and Chrissy. Today, we're gonna focus on the best lead handling strategy in 2023, but I wanna give you all a disclaimer. First and foremost, the strategies I'm gonna teach you today are good, but they're strategies. If you don't have the right people at the dealership, if you don't have the right amount of people with the right infrastructure, none of the strategies matter. Does that make sense? Fair enough? All right. Because I want people going back, oh, he said this, and then it just doesn't work. You have to have other pieces to the puzzle besides just the actual, strategy. Who's read The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? Wow, for a lot of you that haven't, it's probably one of the most incredible books that influenced my life. I actually proud to say that me and my wife are the only official partners with the Franklin Covey organization. We're both certified trainers in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I had the distinct honor of actually getting to train with Dr. Covey before he passed away. Batman, Dr. Covey, my 2 big heroes in life. He said this brilliant thing about the seed you get. Anybody know what a paradigm is? Can anybody define paradigm for me? Say it again, brother. The way you see the world. Follow, I'm going somewhere with this. Covey says the way that you perceive something is going to directly influence your behavior, what you do. And what you do is going to be a direct correlation of what you get. Now, this is going to sound a little weird, but I know that I named my title of my workshop, The Best Lead Handling Strategy. But effective today, stop calling them leads. They're not leads. These are buyers. See, the problem is this, is if we treat these like a bunch of just leads, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna put in the effort. We're not gonna come in earlier, stay later, make that extra phone call, take that extra opportunity. And what's the result? We're gonna have a low closing ratio. But if we change our paradigm, if our paradigm is that these are buyers, what are we gonna do? If we know that, oh my God, this person's an absolute buyer, I'm going to work harder on those opportunities, right or wrong, right? So now,
in 2011, a Stanford Psychology Department study did a study to see if the words that they used would change reactions about crime. They divided people into 2 groups. To both groups, they gave a hypothetical news story about crime in a fictional city. To one group, they framed that news story using public health language. Crime is a virus infecting our city. Crime is a disease that we must find a cure for. To the other group, they used an oppositional frame for the news story. Crime is a beast destroying our city. Get tough on crime. Declare a war on crime. They then asked each participant to write down a few recommendations for this fictional city. The people that had been primed, that read the public health information, they came up with preventative measures for crime, addressing the poverty rates, rehabilitation programs, better mental health care. But the group that was primed, that read the oppositional framed news story, their recommendations were more mandatory sentencing, 3 strike laws. It was fascinating. In fact, just the words in the news story was a better predictor for a person's response than their stated political ideology. Words create worlds.
Words become things. You got to remember that every person that you meet, whether they're a lead or what have you, they need to buy a car today, or they will need to buy a car in the future, or they know someone that needs to buy a car today, or they know someone that's going to need to buy a car in the future. True or false? Okay, these sound like buyers to me, not leads. Now, I'm not going to talk to my wife of 16 years and call her a one-night stand, would I? That's mad disrespectful. Now, yes, and that's one of my daughters here, so she smacked me too. My point is, you don't call a prospect or opportunity a lead. I consult and my team listens to phone calls, and they actually respond to real prospects, real people, and say, yeah, I got your lead. Really? That's professional? And somebody's buying the second largest item in their lifetime? You're a lead? To me, that sounds like a jump off. It's inappropriate. Yes, I said that, right? Start having respect for these opportunities. Again, the way that we perceive things is the way that we're going to engage things. Now, the world has changed, obviously. Everybody's seen the whole Avengers? Like, I love that whole analogy, that blip. We have like 3 blips in one. I mean, in the last 3 years, it's been absolutely crazy. But everything's changed from, yes, inventory is an issue, but with proper strategies on vehicle acquisition, we can level things out, right? HR staffing is a problem, infrastructure is a problem, not training is a massive problem. These are all workshops that you could see here or that my company does, whatever. I don't have time to talk about all that. I'm gonna focus on why we're blowing through buyers. Again, not that we're blowing through leads, but we are blowing through buyers. Now, shout out to AutoWeb right here. This is one of the senior executives there. Is this a true stat that I have on here from your company? Correct. Okay. Listen to this. This company was founded in 1995. Over 100 million cars were purchased from them. And I'm not making a dollar from them. It's not a commercial. I just want to be really, really focused on this. It blows my mind. In May of 2023, 50% of AutoWeb clients do not freaking even attempt to contact the prospect within 48 hours. Like, what year are we in? This is the type of shit when I was in 1999, when I first started selling cars, this type of numbers. How are we in a global, like, post-pandemic situation and we're not even reaching out to opportunities? Now, you gotta ask yourself, why is that? Without going into too much detail, part of it is because there's a huge deficiency in HR, there's this excuse, that excuse, but there is no excuse. These are buyers. If somebody's proactively reaching out, these aren't cold calls. Why are we not responding? Now, approximately, we're talking about thousands of rooftops. So we're not talking about hundreds of people, we're talking about thousands of rooftops all across the country. Toyota, Honda, all the franchises. So for a major, formerly publicly traded company to come up with this data, you need to pay attention. This is like a big warning. You know, how are we gonna get into like fancy stuff and advanced tactics if we don't even call people back? Let's start there. How about call people back? Fair enough? Yes? All right, cool. There's something called gestation period. Before the pandemic, the average buying cycle was roughly about 90 days, 83 to 87 days, the OEM said, right? Pre-owned, special finance between probably anywhere from 45 to 60 days. Because of all the direct orders, because of the inventory shortage, it's elongated that process. The average new car buying cycle now is 120 to 150 days easy. What does that mean? Okay, we're just talking to a superb newly minted GSM at a Highline store, right? And let's just say, for example, if they had 400 fresh buyers in April, and let's just say they even sold 60 cars, right? At the end of April, May 1st, yesterday, if they ran a report in their CRM, how many active internet purchase requests do I have that are 90 days? Forget about 120, 50, 90 days. Do you understand that on May 1st, they probably have 600 to 700 opportunities on May 1st. Plus, they're gonna have 400 fresh this month. That is the buying cycle. Too many people here, and I mean no disrespect, I've been doing this for 23 straight years, but if you have 400 buyers or 400 purchase requests in May, April, whatever month, and you sell, I'll give you a simple number, you sell 40, that's not 10%. Because, this is like kind of like what are you talking about? If you have 400 opportunities from the internet this month and you sell 40 cars, that's not 10%. Because I promise you that all those 40 units delivered did not begin and end in that month. You have to track the gestation period. You have to track the residual flow factor. Does this make sense? I've been talking about this for like a decade and a half, and still in 2023, most dealers are not respecting the gestation cycle here. Now, I'm going to show you one of our KPIs. Why are we focusing on internet operations? Okay, because remember the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People? The third habit is put first things first. So Dr. Covey says, be careful of distractions disguised as opportunities. So for everybody in this room, if you're here because you want to maximize these buyers, want to maximize these opportunities, but why? To me, there's a couple of things that say that the internet is by far the most impressive thing. The internet and phones are the new showroom. Period. Anybody disagree with that? Okay, that's a unanimous consensus here. The internet and phones are the new showroom. However, we are staffing the showroom like it's still like the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. We have 10 salespeople, 2 to 3, managers, and maybe 1 or 2 BDC reps that are poorly trained and the bastard child of the dealership. That's still the American profile for dealerships. True or false? Okay, we are upside down. We're putting all of our resources where shit ain't at anymore. We need to focus on the new showroom, which is the internet and phones. The next is a residual flow factor. I'm going to show you another slide that's going to make this make sense. And then money. Money, money, money. Internet opportunities are one of the absolute most cost-effective, trackable, and insurance-based opportunities. I'm going to explain that. Remember the pizza insurance for Domino's, like if it drops? Okay, these lead source providers, most of them are going to give you either credit or they're going to replace the opportunity if you've got a bogus or duplicate opportunity, right or wrong. Okay, so now, this is a dealership in New Jersey. We took this store from doing 75 units. I know I'm taller on video, okay? So we took this store from doing 75 units a month on the internet to 292 units. This is Paramus, Chrysler Paramus Hyundai in North Jersey. So this right here, these are not salespeople. These are what we call internet coordinators, what you guys would call BDC reps. They only handle internet opportunities and phone opportunities. But look at the math. They started with 949 opportunities here, okay, on the first of the month. Plus, they got 1,651 fresh opportunities. So if you look at this, there's no way in hell even a great store is going to sell 292 cars just off of 1,651, okay? How they got to 292 units delivered in 1 month from 75 cars is because they built the freaking infrastructure. They got 10 BDC reps that are managing both the carryover and the fresh. It took 28,717 outbound calls to connect with 3,300, to make 945 appointments, to get 589 people to show up, to deliver 292 cars. Infrastructure, resources. The average dealership NADA sells less than 100 cars. How in the world did you expect your internet department to sell more cars than the average dealership when you have ghetto resources? You have like very few people working there. Or respectfully, you expect your salespeople to do it. It's mathematically impossible. I'm going to show you. So average cost per lead, NADA, I've spoken to over 500 NADA and NCM 20 groups. Okay, and the average NADA profile for 2022 is roughly $650 per car sold. Who here is a Ford dealership? Okay, what's the name of the store?
Mill Creek Ford.
Where are you located at?
Dominic Reed, so we're a Metro store.
Okay, perfect. Even better. As a Metro store, are you freaking telling me that Ford has the #1 selling vehicle on planet Earth for 45 straight years? I stand corrected. 45 straight years. So again, whatever you're spending in advertising, not all of those dollars are going to sell your cars. You're flagging the #1 product for 45 straight years because it's a Ford, maybe because you're in a Metro, because it's a lease return, etc. So the actual number, if NADA says $650 per car, I'm estimating it's $800 to $1,000 true average cost per sale in marketing, which is absurd. When you could look at third-party providers that are as low as $12 per opportunity. There you go. So again, I'm just reinforcing why the internet schminternet is so freaking important, because it's cost effective. Now, this is most dealerships. This is your internet opportunities. These are your leads. That's how you treat them. You don't treat them like buyers. Treat them like this. Tell me your CRM's not like this. But wait, it gets better. It gets even more absurd. I have 1,000 fresh opportunities a month. With a residual flow factor, I have another 2,900 to 3,300. I have 4,000 buyers a month, and I have 2 people working those opportunities. Oh, and they sell cars on the floor too. We're laughing at this shit right here, but this happens every day in most stores. This is your CLM, this is your BDC. These are your buyers. I say this because it takes sometimes humor to step back and be like, yeah, damn, that is kind of silly. Why are we doing it this way, right? Why? The infrastructure is important. The traditional ones are the one-person show. How many people here have one person working internet opportunities? Raise your hand. I'm so proud of you guys. This is Digital Dealer, though, so that's good. So we don't have one person anymore. How about this? Now we're going to get controversial. We're going to go Bloods and Crips right now. Let's see how we are. Who's on what side? Okay, who's got only salespeople handling it from cradle to grave? Okay, not bad. Now, look, I'm a 30-car verified guy. I used to average 33 cars at Weiss Lincoln, Mercury Mazda, and Pine Belt. So I'm telling you, that's not a good model. Here's why. Okay? This is one of our softwares that we built. There's 8 ways that a showroom salesperson can sell a car. Walk-ins, be-back, internet, phone, prior customers / orphan owners, okay? Service conversions, referrals, and the lost art of prospecting. How in the world can any salesperson maximize all 8 ways and handle the internet opportunities and do product presentation, demonstration, and try to build their own book of business within the dealership's business? It's mathematically impossible. Let me show you. So today is obviously May 2nd. Let's say V worked at your Ford dealership. What I would say with her on the floor is this. Before you worry about how many deals you're going to sell, when I do projecting and forecasting for a showroom person, the first thing I want to do is I want V to look in on May 1st, how many carryover opportunities do you have? How many be-backs, how many phone ups, how many internet, how many service, how many previews, how many orphans, how many referrals, how many prospecting? She might have 80 real legitimate carryovers. Here's another conundrum that dealers have. I have 4 kids. My youngest is a 9-year-old boy. His name's Xander. Drives me crazy. Super awesome kid. He doesn't listen. You guys have the problem too with your kids, right? All the time I walk in my refrigerator, half-drunk juice, orange juice, Gatorade, sometimes soda, and I'm like, Zan, bro, just finish the bottle. Okay, Dad, I got it. I go in there, there's like mad open bottles all over the place. That's your dealership. We're constantly, as soon as we clear the month, we're looking for new shit. We're looking for new opportunities, but we don't finish the damn drinks that are in the refrigerator, whether it's the floor or the internet. And we're paying stupid tax because we keep buying these opportunities. Right or wrong? Slow down, respect that there's 8 ways that a showroom salesperson can sell an automobile. Understand that infrastructure is really the key. You know what Dr. Covey also said, which is a super dope statement? You can tell what's really important to anybody, this is deep, with their spends, where they spend their time and where they spend their money. You can say whatever you want, I don't care what you say. I'm a great dad. Okay, if you're never there, how great are you? You feel me? You can tell what's important when you spend your time and your money. So if this internet is important, and I'm trying to build a case that the internet is super important, we need to put the right time and resources into the proper infrastructure. Everybody agree with that? Okay, cool. Now, here is my recommendation. I have not built a BDC I've been doing this 23 years, for at least 12 to 15 years. I built hybrids. Hybrid to me is the absolute best way. It's where you have both highly trained appointment setters, not BDC reps, we call them internet coordinators, and we utilize salespeople. I call them, it's a jargon in my company, I call them point guards. So what you're looking at right here, this is a smaller store, also in the Northeast. They started with 900 opportunities in the beginning of the month, and they had 934 fresh opportunities. So the yellow is literally the BDC team's efforts. The orange are the salespeople's efforts that are working specifically with that department as a hybrid, and the blue is the collective. Now, obviously, the store could do a little bit better, but they're doing more than what the average store is doing. So everything that you see in yellow came from these people right here. The orange are the salespeople that are working in that department. Let me give you an analogy, okay? If you have a service drive, let's say you have 10 service bays. It doesn't matter if you have 10 service bays if you only have freaking 4 technicians. Do you understand me? So the same thing is, I know stores that have 5, 6 BDC reps, but there's only 1 or 2 working that day for whatever reason. Does this make sense? Brother, infrastructure is what's killing. I have a crime scene. My PowerPoint. That's why I have it, because it kills me too, right? It's like CSI cleanup, crime scene cleanup, right? Call me. I couldn't help it. No, bro, I've been doing this for so long. I agree with you. Infrastructure. So if you had, there's 7 people here on here. Here's the recommended schedule, right? We have 2 shifts. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it's 11 to 8, Tuesday and Thursday, 9 to 6. And then the opposite is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 to 6, Tuesday and Thursday, 11 to 8. And then they rotate on Saturdays. But think about that. Prime time to connect on the phones is between 6 and 8 p.m. Okay? So at any given day, with a team of 7 BDC reps, you might only have freaking 2 people here. And then dealers crack me up sometimes because they're like, yeah, but if they're not there, the leads go to the people that are there. I'm like, I got that, but what about all the leads, aka buyers, that are in their CRM files just fermenting like prison hooch? They're just sitting there fermenting because nobody's touching them. Oh, we're gonna have the people that are working. How in the world is this woman, Callie, going to go into anybody else's file? She's sitting on 245 carryover opportunities plus 117. Do you see this? It's math, not magic. Infrastructure is the key to be able to streamline the process. Okay, now, here is another aspect is training. My gosh. I'm also shocked at the horrific training that dealers provide as a trainer. I'm biased, but that they're providing their people. You need to train on all of the lead source providers. If you're not giving education about Edmunds.com, Kelley Blue Book, if you're not educating them on Carfax, on AutoWeb, on TrueCar, and all these opportunities, you are not preparing your people for engagement with these prospects. You know that these people are educated. It's at their fingertips. With all this AI and all this information there, it is our responsibility to educate your team. Now, it's not just on lead source training, CRM training. Let me get started. I am extremely passionate with CRM. I'm on every major advisory board. I personally set up over 600 rooftop CRMs myself. And this is one of the most degraded aspects of our industry. People are completely under delusion that if you have a CRM, you're getting trained. There is no CRM company in the automotive industry that teaches you CRM training, not one of them. They only teach you buttonology. They teach you product knowledge. My 4 gentlemen over there, when you have a franchise, your manufacturer mandates product certification, true or false? They do not mandate road to the sale training. That's the dealership's responsibility. Same concept. When you have a CRM, they don't teach you how to use it. They teach, meaning psychology, strategy, work plans, templates, processes, things like that. They teach you the buttons and the technology, that's that. But we think we have Vin Solutions, we got eLeads, we got this, we know CRM. No, you don't. No, you don't. 90% of CRMs are broken and not set up properly. Think about this. If I just told you that the gestation period is 120 to 150 days, that means an internet purchase request today, if you get 400, guess what the number is? Less than 160 people are going to buy within 30 days. That's it, because it is a longer closing opportunity now. Do you understand? But if your CRM only follows up with these freaking leads, because they don't respect them as buyers, for 7 to 10 days or some minuscule amount, you're leaving the mass opportunity on the table. Most dealers and managers are at the mercy of whoever programmed the CRM. True or false? Rico, right or wrong? Okay? You need to make sure that whoever's in charge of this understands process creation. Now, I've been talking about this, a decade at least. One of the aspects is communications training. It's not just phone call, email, text message. You need to train your people on how to engage with video, how to engage with Apple FaceTime. I cannot tell you, a lot of you know me, I've been talking about this from NADA Digital Dealer, my own conferences, about utilizing Apple FaceTime. What do you mean, Sean? If somebody submits an internet purchase request from AutoWeb on a 2023 F-150, I'm going to try to call them. National average is only a 6 to 7% conversion ratio on a phone call. Read open rates, 2 to 4%. I'm going to FaceTime them. Yes, there are no FCC, TCPA laws for safeguarding but I'm going to warn you, be careful. You might see some shit not prepared sitting, but be careful, right? But you have engagement. The second one over here is social media. Folks, social media is the #1 form of communication on planet Earth. Vin Solutions has integration with Facebook Messenger and Facebook Communications. Why? Because it's the #1 form of communication. We're using Facebook DM, Instagram DM. We're using LinkedIn DM. I'm using WhatsApp. Anybody have a minority community that they serve? Guess what? WhatsApp is the #1 social platform for minorities. Free long distance. I love it, right? You can use these tools legally and for free to engage with prospects. Show what do you mean? Let's go again. If I'm in my CRM, I'm somebody, let's say V's looking for that 2023 F-150. I try to call, I try to text, no response. I'm going to find her on social media. I have a higher probability of finding her on a social media DM than I do using a reverse lookup on white pages. Right or wrong? And it's free. Here's a pro tip. I told this to a couple dealers, like at the end of the month. Who wishes they were able to just get a couple more appointments to show up at the end of the month? Raise your hands. Who's used Cash App or Venmo? What? What did he say? Yes, Cash App or Venmo. You want to get somebody's attention? Just take the email address from the internet purchase request, drop it into Cash App and Venmo, and you might find their ass on Cash App and Venmo. Throw them $20, $30, whatever you have in your budget to get their attention. I know you put money in my pack, yeah, I'm gonna pay attention. Right or wrong? There you go. Yes, sir?
Data on the Facebook, do I have a better chance of having the customer answer? Because you said 67% on the initial phone call that goes out. Is there any data on if I FaceTime them that there's a higher percentage than 67%?
Yes, I will turn around. I have it all broken down. We track, here's the KPIs we track through the Money Mind Map software. We're tracking outbound phone calls, outbound emails, outbound text messages, outbound Apple FaceTime or Skypes, outbound social media DMs, outbound e-cards. We're trying to diversify all of these, and I have a whole breakdown on what they are, yes. So I can just see me afterwards, and I'll send that to you. But here's the pro tip. Think about this, and I don't want to scare anybody here, but God forbid there was a fire, right, in this room. There's 1, 2, 3 exits. What if there's only one exit and it's over there? You guys are in trouble, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to run away over here. You want to have as many exits as possible to get out. Does that concept make sense? Same concept on the reverse. If I only have one way to reach somebody, I only have one opportunity to connect with them. So if I'm only calling, that's all I got. So you need to diversify. I'm not saying eliminate. You need to do what everybody else is doing, phone call, email, text message. But in addition to doing phone call, email, text message, you also want to use social media DMs. You want to use, Apple FaceTime, Skypes. You want to send e-cards, Blue Mountain, Hallmark, 1, 2, 3, things like that. Does this make sense? Okay, cool. Now, I kind of covered this already. New car was 90 days. Now I'd say it's about 120 to 150 days. I don't want to confuse you guys, but I don't recommend that you follow up unless you have the infrastructure post 90 days for 2 reasons. It's not easy. It really isn't. Most people, I'm talking about the vast majority of dealers that we come in contact with, and we work with over 3,700 rooftops in 6 countries over the last 19 years, a lot of dealers we work with, is that they don't have the infrastructure. I'm talking about big dealer groups too, to handle post 90 days. Plus, you still have to be cognizant of the do not call registry. So you have like a get out of jail free, because even if somebody's on the do not call registry, we have a green light. As long as they reached out to you or submitted an internet purchase request, you could call them even if they're on that. But once it's 90 days, if they're on that, you might be susceptible to a fine. So as a consultant, I don't ever advise going after 90 days unless you have the compliance mechanisms built in and you have the infrastructure. But again, most people are not even maximizing 90 days. Does that make sense? Okay. The only other thing I want to talk about, the follow-up strategy, is I would customize it. Way back when we started building internet BDCs, it was a little primitive. Now, you want to make sure if somebody's submitting an internet purchase request, again, I promise, she's not paying me $1, but she's just in the room. For AutoWeb, I want to borrow the third-party credibility from that lead source provider or TrueCar or Cars Direct or whatever company it is. If somebody submitted an internet purchase request through Cars Direct, I want them to know, hi, my name is Sean Bradley from Cars Direct and ABC Motors. Does this make sense? You want to make sure that your templates and your content are co-branded with the source that they're reaching out to. Any questions with that? Makes sense though, right? Why do most of y'all don't do it though? It's little details. There is no magic bullet. At the end of the day, what we've got to do is, it's the Kaizen, the art of continuous improvement. How do you improve 100%? Okay, well, there's a couple different strategies. The Kaizen strategy is find 100 things, change 1%, that's 100% change. And it's continuous improvement. That's what we got to try to do, is strive for evolution. Special finance, by the way, we got a queen in the building right here. This is Chrissy Burton. 74 cars on the showroom floor at Napleton Hyundai by herself. No assistance, all special finance. She is a beast. Her and my daughter. Can we have a round of applause for Chrissy Burton for here? Yeah, seriously. I've been doing this a long time. I've rarely seen somebody at your level, girl. So she has a keynote presentation tomorrow. But Christy, for special finance, same thing. You want to make sure that your CRM process is different. Too many times, we don't differentiate. If you are subscribing to like Capital One opportunities or bad credit, no credit, special finance, lead source by like carloan.com or something like that, then why are we giving them a generic experience? Your templates, your verbiage, your graphics, your videos need to be in line with the type of prospect that you are engaging. Does that make sense? So again, if somebody's worried about, look, I can't get approved, I just got denied 3 different times, and you're giving them some vanilla, Mr. Rogers, Mrs. Rogers response, it's stupid. You want to be able to say, listen, I totally appreciate your concerns. This is what we specialize here at ABC Motors. We're part of a nationwide network of lending institutions, banks, etc. This is what we do. You want to make sure that your prospects understand that you understand them. But too many times, the CRM is decimated and the content and the collateral is not in sync with your shopper. Does that make sense? I went through this already. It's so funny. I really encourage you guys to focus on that CRM training again. I'm really proud that it's one of the things that we're passionate about is making sure that everybody at the dealership, from sales, BDC, and especially management are not exempt. It's because you're managers. It's kind of hard to hold somebody accountable if you don't do it yourself. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. It's kind of cheesy. I always believe in lead by example. You guys agree with that?
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Thank you, brother. Because again, if you are a leader, an executive manager, owner, GSM, something like that, and if your people see you going through CRM training, taking the CRM, seriously, filling out the things the right way, how could they not do that? That's disrespectful, you know what I mean? But if you're not even doing it and you don't know about it, most of y'all don't even know how to catch them not doing it. It's like being a parent again, right? So just remember that. You got to know all the technology that's available, especially that's coming out. See, for us, we've been immersed in CRM for so long. The CRMs outside of our industry are completely different, like Salesforce and Zoho. My team, we just were at the Zoho conference in North Jersey like last week because we're trying to understand all the stuff that's out there. Guys, they have automation, AI, chat GPT, automotive intelligence, all this stuff exists. And some of it is... It's like magic Skittles sometimes, it's the new shiny object. But if you have somebody that understands this stuff, or you could learn this stuff, or partner with somebody that can, this will help you, especially if you don't have the right amount of infrastructure. AI and all the technology basically can automate, streamline, and it could give you almost like a virtual BDC or virtual team. The technology is way more advanced now than it ever was before. You need to utilize all of the resources, and this is the challenge right here. This slide right here is that most people use their CRM like an antiquated phone instead of using it like on the most advanced smartphone, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about. This is how you use your CRM, but this is how CRM can be if you unlock all the cool tech that's in it. Internet departments, BDCs, it's like, I just want to make calls. That's what I was doing 20 years ago. That's like, I'm Belizean. You guys can't say it, I can say this. It's like having a Belizean sweatshop. It's call. You're grinding out your people. How many calls you made? Nah, you gotta switch the paradigm. What you wanna be able to do is engagement. That's another real good pro tip right here, is you've gotta train your people. It's not just about making cyber labor calls. You know what I mean? It's not about that anymore. We have to use intelligence and logic and really figure out how can we escalate from that opportunity, that buyer, as quickly as possible to a conversation. Video. This is my passion. If you guys don't know, I wrote an international best-selling book years ago called Win the Game of Googleopoly, and I did a lot of research on Google and video, and when the book blew up, it just blew my mind. So video is the #1 medium for consumption. People consume more video than they read, write, talk, text, whatever. So video increases read open rates by 300%. So if you are not using video emails for automated CRM action plans or for manual emails, you are missing the boat. That's Flintstones, okay? That's was. You need to get to the Jetsons. You need to have a complete video strategy in your CRM. Video read open rates are pretty primitive, 2 to 4%. So if I need to get as much as I can. Now, the revenue of marketers who use video grows 49% faster compared to the ones who don't. 93% of businesses gain new customers as a direct result of posting brand videos content to social media platforms. Video, video, video. Here's the other thing. This blew me away. Dr. McQueevy from Forrester Research in 2014 came up with this brilliant thing that 1 minute of video was equivalent to 1.8 million words. But that was when the average video was shooting about 30 frames per second. But this is real math. So 1 minute of video is equivalent today to 3.6 million written words. Let me repeat that. 1 minute of video is equivalent to 3.6 million written words. How does that happen? If a picture's worth 1,000 words, if the average video shoots at 60 frames per second, that's 60,000 words per second times 60 seconds. That's 3.6 million freaking words. Why are we not leveraging video? We're trying to articulate. We're trying to differentiate. We're trying to articulate what is our value package proposition. What is different and better about you, your dealership, and your manufacturer? How the hell are you going to do that through a 7% communication like text are the words we use? How are you going to do that through 38% communication through tone and inflection? Even body language is only 55%. We need to maximize all forms of communication so we have the most unfair competitive advantage to articulate our value package proposition to our prospects, to our buyers. You guys agree with that? We just had a Chrysler store, Tier 2 franchise, I love them, Chrysler Lawrenceburg, in Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, and this is my CRM map, okay? So what we've done is we've mapped out 90 days. So the left column is my templates, my description. I have an embedded link that's in here, and this is what's the strategy, and then the text script that's in here. So this is what it looks like. If you guys don't have a document like this, you need to upgrade. Seriously, you need to be Beyonce upgraded real quick, because this needs to be mapped out in your CRM. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like in Vint Solutions. And again, we use 13 different CRMs. I really don't care. You're going to see really quick how crazy I am with processes. So if anybody has Vint, you've never seen anything like this before. Look at all the processes that we built in. Now, I'm going to open them up so you see the level of content that's in here. This is probably 6 figures worth of CRM if I had to build this from scratch again. We don't charge like that, but now if you look at the processes, look at the coding in here. This took me over 5 hours to map this out. They actually have coaching tips. As you see, we're focusing on social media DMs. This means call, voicemail, text message, social media DM. It's a quad protocol. We're also switching, making sure that we know the different time periods that we need to differentiate, because prime time takeoff on the phones between 6 and 8 p.m. Notice that we're also using Apple FaceTimes or Skypes or sending e-cards. This is just one process. Now, I want to show you one of our video ones. Oh, Spanish. Making sure that we have over 1,100 pieces of content in our CRM, and they're in bilingual. 500 plus are in English, 500 plus are in Spanish. All of our processes, all of our templates, all of our scripts are bilingual. At the very least, sometimes we have different clients that do different languages, Russian, Chinese, or whatever.
So Sean, is it a template that you got there, a template that's part of it, or is it going to be a personalized video that you recommend?
Personalized video. So here, you know what? I'm just going to jump to the videos just because of our time. So check this out. Let's watch. We're going to watch all of them. My video production shot all this for the story.
My name's Samantha Royce. I'm an internet coordinator here at Chrysler of Lawrenceburg, and from all of our friends here, happy birthday!
That automatically goes out in the CRM for their birthdays. Spanish Valley Package Proposition.
Hola y bienvenidos. Habla Antonio Jiménez de Chrysler of Lawrenceburg, el gerente general. Una de las cosas más diferentes que hacemos comparable de los otros que andan vendiendo carros es en la agencia de Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. Nosotros sabemos que los costumbres son unos de los más importantes pedazos de la agencia. Haciendo eso tenemos programas de todas formas. Si acaso tienes seguro social.
I'm going to just kind of go through. This is super crazy.
Hello guys, my name is Jay Parks. I'm with Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. We are here today to show a little bit of customer appreciation, as well as for anyone out there who has friends, family, neighbors, co-workers, anybody who is in the market for a vehicle. If you would like to come on down to 1181 Bypass South Lawrenceburg, Kentucky, the Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. Once again, my name is Jay Parks. You can ask for me. The first time you come in or you send in a referral, just make sure they let us know that you sent them. They ask for me. Then what we do is we walk them through the process. We take care of them the same way that we took care of you and your family. First check, we'll cut back a check for $300. The second time you send a customer the deal funds, your check will be for $700. And on the third time, which is always the lucky number here, is 3. You come in, we get the customer handled. We'll take care of you with a check for $1,000, a grand, a band, a rack, a stack. However you'll look at it, you'll ride home happy with your check.
These are automated videos. One second. A band, a stack, a rack. Dead deal.
My name is Nelson Lyles, and I am the general manager and partner of Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. I understand that you recently had submitted an internet lead to our internet department, an inquiry on a particular vehicle. And for whatever reason, you currently are no longer in the market. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for that time that you spent with us and let you know
This is an automatic, I call it a virtual TO. We program the CRM every time there's a dead deal from anybody, dead deal price, dead deal distance. The general manager and part owner does a virtual TO. You know how many saved deals we got from this automatic CRM video email template?
8302.
Look at this. This one I want you to see is it's sales.
Chrysler of Lawrenceburg is having a massive sale, and brand new inventory has just arrived for a special value this weekend only. You won't want to miss out, as tons of dealerships have been suffering from a serious inventory crisis due to the pandemic.
We have some of the largest inventory that we've had in the last 2 years. In addition to that, we have up to 0% financing available on select models. Only this weekend here at Chrysler of Lawrenceburg.
These are CRM videos. They're not for TV. We built these for the CRM for automation. These are automatic templates. This is powerful. We can't watch the whole thing, it's long, but watch. You need to articulate what is different and better about you.
My name is Nelson Lyles. I'm the general manager here at Chrysler of Lawrenceburg. As the general manager, I understand that you want to strive to get the very best price and structure that you possibly can on your very next vehicle purchase. The factory, the manufacturer, has incentives and discounts that they do not readily make available to the public. If you currently have a non-Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram product, you have up to an additional $750 that can be used toward your next purchase. If you are a first responder, or someone that is in our active military or reserves, a teacher, a medical professional, up to $500 toward the purchase of your next vehicle. We have lease pull-ahead money that's available. If you're currently in a Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram lease and you're within 6 months of maturation, you have the ability to come in, release, or go into a retail purchase on a vehicle of your choice and receive compensation for those existing 6 months. If you are a recent college grad from a 2-year,
can you imagine? This is the first video that we sent out, the autoresponder. We are sending a video email articulating what is different and better about us. When everybody's sending freaking ghetto ass, like, you know, plain email template, which is text on it, we're crushing it. Sight, sound, motion, emotion. Right or wrong?
And with that being,
now, just because of the time, I'm going to keep going. It's even better, but again, I'll give you guys the PowerPoint with all the videos embedded. I want you to see a couple other things real quick. This is...
Hi, my name is Sean Bradley with Bob Ruth Ford.
We took the score from doing 75 units to 320 units. Population 2,500. Bob Ruth Ford in Dillsburg, Pennsylvania. 2,500 people, that's it.
Us here at Bob Ruth Ford, we're different. We have created something called the Bob Ruth Ford's VIP experience. VIP experience, yeah, Sean, what is that? What that is that we do business differently. Let's start with full transparency. We will give you any and all information, whether it's about the price of the vehicle, what we own it for, what the MSRP is, or if you want to sell us your car. what your credit, what you qualify for, what your interest rates. We will give you full disclosure from the comfort of your home. You don't have to come to us for that. We will do that for you remotely. Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Next is, if you want to test drive the vehicle, you don't even have to come to the dealership. We'll actually deliver the vehicle.
This is the first video that goes out in their CRM. This is an automatic video email in their VIN Solutions CRM.
Even if you don't buy the vehicle, we will drop the vehicle off at your home so you can park it in your driveway in front of your house, test drive around the neighborhood. In my opinion, that's the best test drive ever around your own neighborhood, right? That means we could do the entire deal remotely from the comfort of your
They
own
do
office.
2/3 of all their business remotely on their own. Matter of fact, they've been on covers of like multiple magazines, Digital Dealer, they did sessions before. This is from the DP. Check this out.
So we're trying to do everything as much as we can remotely. And that's, instead of trying to go back in time, it's like, let's just go with the flow here. We have this remote part of our business where we're helping customers every day, all day. There's nothing we can't do for them. We can value their trade, we can get financing, we can give them numbers, we can do anything that we would do sitting in a showroom. I can do it over the phone, I can do it via text, we can do it remotely.
I remember, I still have the text. It's like, Sean, in 4 hours, we just sold, I think it was like 12 cars in 4 hours with like a fraction of the staff.
So everything's about efficiency to me. What can we do faster, more efficient, better quality, and customers want it?
So can you kind of share through it? So let's say I went on to AutoWeb or I went on to BobWith4.com and I submitted an internet purchase request, to this organization today.
Mm-hmm.
How do you guys handle that lead?
We want to get back to the customer as fast as we possibly can. We want to find out what information they're looking for. Let's try to do more before coming into the dealership. So when you get here, instead of a 2-hour process, it's a 30-minute process.
You're fluidly able to handle the trade evaluation, You're able to handle the credit application and the full qualification. So then it goes to the desk, right? And the desk basically structures, pencils the deal, and then you give it to one of your sales agents?
Sales agents, or maybe back to the BDC agent. They've been closing deals for me.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And so your sales agent or the BDC agent is going to present the offer to the prospect.
Proposal.
The proposal to the prospect. From proposal to sale, what is that closing ratio then?
We had two of us, and we both said around 70%.
That's insane. Do you guys hear this? So their prospects.
So again, just because of the time, I'm going to kind of cut on this here because I want to open up to a couple questions. But first, if you guys are not part of the group, Meta Corporate has named us the #1 Facebook group. We've got almost 26,000 members. They're dealer principals, GMs, internet directors, BDC directors. It's completely free. And we have the #1 podcast called the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. And we work with some of the top people, like literally in the world, for all the best practices and strategies. And I think that's about it. Anybody have any questions for me?
So with these longer buying cycles that consumers are having, have you guys noticed maybe a dead zone where a consumer disengages and then re-engages with a dealership? Is there any kind of dead zone there?
Again, there's different types of opportunities. So the way that it was before was is that an OEM opportunity, the average gestation was over like 83, 87 days. However, a third party, which would be like an AutoWeb or Edmunds or something like that, that was probably a 45-day opportunity. And then when somebody's using search engines or they're going direct to the dealership website, it would be 31 days or less. So there's 3 different paths approximately. So the answer, it depends on what type of opportunity. So what usually people do is they just lump all their internet people into one. But that's not the right way. There's actually 3 main layers. So yes.
Those videos that you showed, those are obviously professionally produced and edited. So we don't have a video producer or editor on staff. So who would you recommend?
Now, all kidding aside. So here's the thing. I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're with the same store, okay. What store are you with? Okay,
Hyundai.
so every manufacturer has their own portal. I don't know if you guys all know that. They have OEM compliant footage. So they have running footage that's compliant, there's B-roll, there's a lot of stuff there. So you can get it from your OEM, there's ad agencies. I don't want to turn this into a timeshare pitch, but I own a company called Dealer Video Production. We've been doing video for dealers for like 15 years. So, but at the end of the day, I'll be honest with you, even a cell phone, as long as you're not like, grandma shaky hands, you know what I mean, is better than static templates. So at the end of the day, if all you have is, a phone, a cell phone, an iPhone or Android, get a freaking Steadicam or a mount, and that is better than not having video. So that's my first thing. But if you want to upgrade, then, call me.
The second question is, do you recommend these email templates to have the video links, or
No, that's really important, okay? Really, really bad. If we were working with you, I'm mystery shopping your competitors, and let me find out they're using YouTube. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna start buying their pre-roll. Every time they send videos through YouTube and their CRM, their prospects, their clients are gonna get commercials on my shit. So no, I recommend, I'm a big fan of BombBomb, but there's also Co-Video, or what have you, Coke or Pepsi, you know what I mean? They're both great companies, but what you wanna be able to do is not have ads and things like that, and have the ability for a sharp, savvy person to conquest you with your own stuff. So what happens is the video assets get put into, for example, BombBomb. BombBomb converts it into HTML, which gets embedded into any CRM. But all CRMs could have embedded video. Like everything you saw, that's exactly right out of the CRM. Those are automated CRM video templates.
With back to the video thing, working with Focus Reynolds, the CRM is BombBomb.
100%, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot. Matter of fact, Coons is a multi-billion-dollar dealer group. The whole Coons organization is our client, and they use Reynolds.
Question: how are you staying compliant while messaging and DMing customers? Are you sending any prompts? Are you?
There's no compliancy. It's not like text messaging. So to be clear, yeah, that's the whole thing. There's something called the FCC TCPA guidelines for text messaging. There are no rules for social media DMs. It's the wild, wild west.
How many leads per BDC person?
Good question. So the real answer is this. If somebody's brand new or underperforming, my model is 80 to 100. If they're average, 100 to 120. If they're above average, 120 to 150. I'm Sean V. Bradley. I've been doing this for 23 years, and I would never take more than 170 fresh because of the residual flow factor, the gestation period. So again, 80 to 100 is if somebody's underperforming or brand new. 100 to 120 if they're average, 120 to 150 if they're above average. If they're a rock star, if they have a lot of experience, they're good. 170. Anything after that, you're hitting a point of diminishing return. That's the problem.
Okay, how about your thoughts on outsourcing BDC?
Okay, and I don't mean no disrespect because I don't know who's in the room, and if somebody's got a business, I don't want to shit on anybody's business, but I don't like it. I don't have any respect for outsourced BDCs. However, there's a new trend that's popping right now. I have a lot of high-level clients. They're not outsourcing, but they're employing people. I've got dealerships that have their own employees in Dominican Republic, in Belize, in Philippines, and they're crushing. Bob Ruth Ford, their entire main BDC team is in the Philippines. These people got master's degrees, not associates or bachelors, and they're paying them like $8 an hour plus like pennies, and they are ecstatic because the economy is different over there. So I think that with the HR deficiency in the United States, and the reason why I can answer that is one of the things that we do is recruiting. I've staffed over 37,000 automotive professionals in the last 19 years, and it's getting expensive and hard to find talent. So we're going overseas now to be able to find supplement talent for the dealership. I want to make sure we understand they're not outsourced. They're in a different country, but they're direct 1099 contract agents for the dealership.
And last question, the incoming phone calls, should that go through BDC or sales floor or what are you talking about?
In my opinion, I think it should go to a BDC or a hybrid. Not that salespeople are not focused on it, but to me, what did I say in the beginning? The internet and phones are the new showroom, right? So the internet sale, if you think about it, is predominantly a phone sale. The internet sale is predominantly a phone sale. So that person that's mastering internet is really mastering phone communications. If they can master outbound phone communications, they should very easily master inbound. Now, my model, remember, my dealer synergy model, I'll do whatever model you guys want as a trainer, but if somebody hires me as a consultant, I believe in a hybrid. I believe having salespeople and BDC people working synergistically, strategically together, but I would recommend it goes to the BDC first, personally. You guys enjoyed? Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Bradley On Demand is the automotive industry's #1 24/7 interactive training, tracking, testing, and certification program. Bradley On Demand is for you. Someone looking for anything from professional development to work-life balance, financial freedom to controlling your own schedule, and so much more. Now, if you're like most leaders, your people aren't as successful as they'd like to be, or as you'd like them to be. With Bradley On Demand, that'll be a thing of the past, and don't believe us. Take their word for it.
I have found Bradley On Demand to be extremely valuable.
I can't say enough, the content is endless on there, as well as the interaction with Dealer Synergy's team.
He advanced us light years ahead of our competition, so extremely happy. Thank you.
And in turn, we're up 40 to 50 cars a month. God, I hope everybody does this.
Brought to you by Dealer Synergy, Bradley On Demand has over 500 hours of powerful curriculum. We have 1,500 active rooftops, trained hundreds of thousands of automotive professionals all over the world, and have assisted our clients in generating over $1.5 billion of additional revenue. With over 8,000 modules and more than 150 guest instructors, we have everything you'll need to sell more cars, more often, and more profitably. Meet our chief instructors, Sean V. Bradley, CSP, Karen Bradley, and L.A. Williams. But wait, there's more. Not only are numerous best-selling authors on here, such as Shep Hyken and Dr. Willie Jolly, not to mention an Emmy Award-winning composer for his creation of the HBO theme song, Ferdinand J. Smith. But we have exclusive training content from the world's #1 car salesman, Cody Carter. Cody doesn't just single-handedly outsell most dealerships. He also has his own platform inside Bradley On Demand, Sell Like Cody. And if that's not enough, meet Tiana Mick, or as you may know her, T Got Your Keys. Tiana offers some of the most advanced digital training, and her website is regarded as the world's #1 website for an automotive sales professional. Bradley On Demand is also proud to be a part of Cardone On Demand. That's right, Sean V. Bradley and Grant Cardone have joined forces to create the Voltron of automotive sales training content, putting us in over 800 rooftops on Cardone On Demand. But that's not all. We have exclusive content from incredible brands such as Google, Facebook, Franklin Covey, BombBomb, and so much more. We offer courses on everything from showroom sales, sales management, phone sales, BDC, and CRM. And speaking of CRM, there is no other training program for CRM mastery like Bradley On Demand. In addition to having the Vin Solutions team create training modules exclusively for Bradley On Demand, Sean V. Bradley has traveled numerous times to Vin Solutions headquarters in order to discover the most cutting-edge strategies for CRM. We have an entire library of exclusive content from BombBomb focusing on advanced video creation and video mastery. And if all that's not enough, Bradley On Demand is fun. We turn dealership training into a game. There's a leaderboard to drive your sales team to success through competition. But don't feel left out. You'll be able to view all of their progress thanks to our report cards and analytics. And no game is complete without a way for the players to communicate. Inside our platform is a community, kind of like an internal Facebook, which gives your team the opportunity to share in their successes. Speaking of success, the top people in any industry are certified. Our certifications ensure your team have been trained properly and efficiently. Once they're certified, that's not it. With our favorites feature, they can easily save their favorite modules to re-experience, because training isn't something you did, it's something you do. And if you forget to save a module, our search engine is a quick way to find exactly what you need. Still don't think this sounds like the right fit? We'll make it fit. Bradley On Demand allows free and complete customization for your dealership that lets you create the dealer-specific training your team needs. And thanks to our file vault, storing and having access to important documents has never been easier. Interactive on-demand training is awesome. However, we wanted to add a live touch. So all of our Bradley On Demand clients get free access to our Dealer Synergy Academy classes. Conducted by Dealer Synergy subject matter experts, these live trainings are designed to help you solve real problems in real time for everything from price, inventory, CRM, and marketing. Every dealership has problems. Not getting enough appointments, not making enough money, time management, overpaying, broken CRMs, low CSI. Bradley On Demand addresses all of these and more. We even offer a full program for receptionists and BDC hosted by Tony Ann Fardette called The $1 Billion Girl. Not only do we have the world's best automotive trainers, we have frontline dealer principals, GMs, record-breaking sales individuals, and owners of billion-dollar dealer groups. With roughly 20 years of being the automotive industry's best, Bradley On Demand is what you need to become an automotive guru. So don't worry. Any problem you have, you can solve it by reaching out to us for a free needs analysis, strategy session, and demo of our platform. But if you're ready to start right now, then stop watching this video. Go to bradleyondemand.com and give your team access to the best automotive training in the world.